Hey, what's going on, folks? Welcome back to the Real Legend of Gaming. We are here with Arena of Valor, folks, and if you haven't heard about this game, then you need to download it right away. This is the hottest MOBA mobile game right now, available on iOS and Android. The global launch just took place for North America and Latin America, and the game's been available in Europe as well. So it's a great opportunity for you to get into the game, and let's get right into the scheduled program. So in this video, we're going to be discussing what heroes would be ideal for beginners to start with, and also the type of team composition that will make most sense, right? We're going to explain some stuff that might seem rather obvious if you played the game, while others are some techniques that have been recommended by the creators of the game, along with some of the developers as well. So while first off, I'm going to point out in Arena of Valor, the whole idea to this game is to take your team of either 3 or 5, right? Because there's different game modes available. You have a 3-on-3 skirmish mode and a 5-on-5 grand battle mode, in which you can play casual and ranked matches. These teams here will consist of different type of classes. There's 6 classes in total, and they all serve a very unique and crucial part in the team. So you have your tank, which plays just like any other game. You have your strongest HP hero, which is going to guard your players, allowing them to attack and defend and support your team. Then you have your warriors, you have your assassins, your mage, your marksmen, and your support heroes. Now, when starting the game, you have to really determine what type of playstyle you enjoy using, right? If you've played Overwatch, if you play League of Legends, there's different classes in those games, so it's very similar to those concepts, right? If you like to be a healer, if you like to provide buffs for your team, then you might want to go with a support hero. If you like to protect your team from harmers away and be able to deal out some decent damage in order to protect your entire squad at all costs, then a tank might be the best idea. And believe me, tanks are great to use. Now, if you're someone who likes to be in the middle, you like to kind of be a little high on HP, you want to deal some DPS, then a warrior will make sense for you. Now, if you want to have some mobility, then an assassin will be unique because you're able to move back and forth on the field, allowing you to jump to situations either to help your teammates defend or to attack and start a counter push. And then you have your mage and your marksman, which are your high DPS dealers. Typically, those are the ones that should be paired up with a tank so that you can really maximize the damage that you can output with the mage or the marksman. That's really my preferable play style. I like to deal a lot of damage and stay in the back and kind of observe what's going on, see if I need to get out of this situation, move to another one, or if I'm just gonna build up on the kill streak. But everybody has their own style, and that's what's awesome about this. So now let's go into which heroes you should start with, right? Because we explained the classes and we gave you just a general idea of how the game works, and pointed out again some obvious things because there are new players to the series and also new players to the entire genre of MOBAs. So I just wanted to explain those things before we got into everything else. So first off the bat, one of the top recommended starter players is Val Hein. I'm a little biased because obviously the dude's on the overlay, and also I use him as well. So Val Hein is a marksman, and he's basically the core hitter. He does a lot of high damage and does a lot of AOV attacks, and he has great mana regeneration. So with the mana regeneration, basically he's able to build up his commands a lot faster because the cooldown is better. So he's able to continuously be able to use his special abilities, and his ultimate ability will reload a little bit quicker. So again, because he's a high damage player and his abilities allow him to really take advantage of those skills, Val Hein is a great character to start with if you're crazy about dealing out damage. And again, some of his attacks do have some effects afterwards, and they can also do crowd damage. So if you have more than one enemy in the same area, Val Hein's attacks, his ultimate ability can attack them. Even his second ability can also do some damage as well. So Val Hein is of marksman if you wanted to check them out. And also, with a nice skin for Val Hein, log into the game a few days and you'll get that skin for free right now if you download the game. So that's something that will give you a nice appearance, different from this traditional look, which is on the right hand side. You can go with the cool, I want to say he looks kind of like a Bloodborne character type look. Now the next recommended hero, and I'm going to stick with the high damage first, would be Vera. So Vera is a mage, and to be honest with you, she's one of the highest damage dealing mages in the game. Second skill that she has allows you to stun a tank, which allows you to really defend against an opponent's push really well. And she does an ultimate that does 5 attacks in a row. So you can imagine how much damage she puts out. So she is a beast. Now, another character that is pretty popular and is a good starter is Thane. So Thane is pretty much a one-man army. He has a passive resistance to damage, and his ultimate Excalibur allows you to do damage while rushing towards a crowd of opponents. So he does like this charging attack where he just goes right through the crowd. He does damage, and he's also resistant. Well, let me not even say resistant. He's immune to controls at that point. So he's just going to continue forward with his attack, and you're all good from there because your team can follow and just rake up whatever needs to be cleaned. Then, last but not least, right, because we haven't discussed a tank. So Tara is a Warhammer. She has a dash ability that slows down enemy as well. Her abilities have no mana cost, and her ultimate is almost impossible to stop. She is also able to buff her movement, so it's a nightmare to deal with. And again, Tara is one of the best tanks in the game and a recommended starter for you to play with. Now finally, folks, we get a chance to speak about team composition. Now the team composition is very important. The first recommended setup is pretty obvious, right? So you have your 6 classes. So the best strategy will be to have your 1 tank, your 1 warrior, your 1 assassin, and then for the last slot would be either your marksman, your mage, or your support. So your most popular strategy probably will be what's called your rear strongly protected. And that's gonna basically be a strategy where your marksman will be in the back of the team lineup, while you'll probably have 2 tanks and a warrior, or 2 tanks and assassin, or 1 tank, an assassin, and another warrior guard your marksman while they deal out all of the DPS. This is ideal because the marksman's a little squishy when it comes to the HP and defense, so keeping them in the rear will allow them to constantly attack, build up with the mana regeneration, attack again, and you get the point. They'll be able to distribute damage at a constant level while being protected by the other members of the team. So that's a pretty OP strategy, and perfect execution of the tank will really implement the greatness of the marksman. And yeah, I'm going to say it again, Val Hein is the boss. But that's just me being biased. Now, another strategy that you can also use is your strong support team. Well, you'll have 2 support characters. One will be for healing, and the other will be for buffing. So that will be ideal to protect your tank and your marksman as well. Or if you didn't want to have a marksman, you can have a mage as well. Either way, you're able to support your entire team more effectively. The third strategy is the double jungler. Now this strategy is solid. However, you leave yourself at some type of risk, and I'll explain that to you guys. So with the double jungler, in the beginning of the match, you're going to target either the Slayer or the Abyssal Monster. So by going after one of the 2, you're going to get a buff for your team, right? You're going to get a financial buff or XP boost, or the other will be a boost to your magic attack and your attack. And I think the boost is like 30%. By doing the double juggler strategy, you're going to have one of your strongest teammates. Probably you'll have maybe a warrior who has high mobility, and you'll probably have your support player team up together, right? So while your warrior is attacking the Dark Slayer or Abyssal Dragon, you'll have your support player helping them out. And it allows you to quickly move back to help your teammates, because remember, now that you have two heroes going after the monsters in the beginning of the match, your teammates are going to get overwhelmed by the other 4 opponents. So by having that mobility, allows you to swiftly move back and protect. And again, you have your support or buff being put into place to allow you to increase your attacks and also heal up so that you can run back and help. So that's pretty much it, folks. So I really hope you appreciate this content. If you do, then slap that like button. And if you want more Arena of Valor videos, then hit the subscribe button for more content. We're also streaming it as well, and we're covering Clash Royale too. So we're giving you a double dose of awesome mobile madness. I appreciate the support, folks. So peace out.